called it. I'm certainly looking forward to Thunderbolts. In fact, fuck it. I'm just gonna throw myself in it now. I'm gonna preemptively say that Thunderbolts is going to be a fantastic movie. This movie is fucking great. It's different, and I feel it's going to be extremely divisive. I looked over at my girlfriend once the film was done, and it was, let's just say, pretty evident that she wasn't as much of a fan of it as I was. But she's, you know, gonna be one of those you either love it or hate it things. I'm jumping the gun. I thought it was excellent. First things first, get the superficial stuff out of the way. I fucking love the redesigns of all the characters. John Walker looks so much better in the darker attire with the beard, the more unkempt look. Fuck yeah. Bucky's still kicking it, clearly keeping on top of things with her heads and shoulders. We get a juxtaposingly disastrous hairdo on someone else a little bit later on, but yet again, I'm jumping the gun here. The movie's first act is basically an escape room sequence where the anti-heroes have to work together in all these silly, rambunctious, unorthodox and frankly graceless ways, like doing a 4-way foot shimmy up the elevator shaft. Frankly, I would have been fine if the entire movie was this like escape sequence and we got a Breakfast Club type of deal, different types of characters, archetypes, get to know each other, that sort of thing. But no, the film goes deeper than that, so, you know, yeah. Big thing it delves into is the unrelenting guilt that Yelena goes through on a daily basis. Briefly touches on some unhealthy drinking habits she's developed, but like, meh, that's just like for dramatic effect or whatever, and it's rather unnecessary. Her acting alone is enough to sell the guilt as is, as well as the Red Room scenes, the flashbacks we see sell it all that much more. It's just more development for this character that frankly I've been fond of since she was first introduced. Same goes for John Walker, who I think was the best part of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The courtroom speech was powerful, and to see him embrace a darker, semi-villainous role only for it to be kind of overturned in this movie is an interesting trajectory to say the least. Because he was never a bad guy, he was just no Steve Rogers. But that's about all we got from him. Thunderbolts adds some much needed shading to the character of John Walker. The emotional distance, the family issues. Yet again, I fucking love the redesign. Ghost, not gonna lie, I haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I liked her in this film, so there's that. She's got some unique powers which could be kind of overpowered, but she's grounded to a point where it isn't distracting or it takes you out of the film. Alexei was a highlight of the Black Widow movie, and in my opinion, he was given a better opportunity to shine in this movie. I'm a proud advocate of the loud equals funny movement, and he plays on that quite a bit in this movie.
Yes! Yeah!
He embodies the stereotype of the loud, obnoxious, embarrassing dad, and the flip side of that coin, Yelena perfectly embodies the classic shying away, embarrassed, sort of angsty teenage daughter whenever he's around. I know Yelena isn't a teenager, but that's their dynamic, and it's funny because it's relatable. Hell yeah. Last but not least, Bob, or spoiler alert, I guess, but like, come on, this was in the trailer. Sentry. For as lighthearted as this film is kept most of the time, he's always in like his own dark, mopey corner, mumbling to himself. But he's not overbearingly weird to the point where it's distracting or like cliche. I love the little scenes where he touches Yelena and John, and we get their flashbacks, and that gives us this brief glimpses into Sentry's powers. I do think he's maybe a little too easily swayed by DeFontaine at the midpoint of the movie. It's obvious he's sort of like easily led or lacks conviction. He's unsure of himself right up until he's not. This movie's choreography is great, but one scene I particularly loved was when the Thunderbolts first fight Sentry in the Avengers Tower, and it perfectly exemplifies how characters of Sentry's power level should never ever be put up against these street level characters. Every attack they do just bounces off him. It doesn't even remotely shift him or move him. There's this specific part where Alexei charges at him and tries to stab him in the side of the head with a knife, and the blade just chips and shatters, and doing reference, just melts away as it like pushes into his like invisible force field. It's fucking awesome. It's so cool. He doesn't even try, he just systematically dismantles each and every one of them effortlessly. It's a fucking awesome scene. Even amidst the fight, it's obvious Bob, or Sentry, doesn't want to hurt, you know, Yelena and his other friends. Even when he's got them against the wall at the end of the fight, he lets them go because they aren't a threat to him. Bob, as in the good Bob, doesn't just randomly become the bad guy, but the Void, or as it's referred to, the heartless version of Bob, is the actual bad guy. And a very simple but effective design, just the black with the white pupils. I think that looks pretty cool. He just thinks people out of existence, and that's like beyond an Avengers level threat. So how is this gang of street level anti-heroes meant to go against someone like that? But that's what I actually really appreciate about this film, and why I know a lot of people are going to be really turned off by it, because it's a breath of fresh air. There isn't some big climactic battle at the end. I mean, there is a sort of a final battle, but it's not the be all end all. There is a visually intriguing and creatively shot, mind you, emotional ending based in confronting your own demons and what have you. The relationship between Yelena and Alexei, her loneliness and guilt, John's troubled past and, well, troubled present, Bob's history with his mental health and or disorder. It's kept quite vague. I'd say it's well done. You don't need everything spelled out sometimes, you know. Nonetheless, the entire movie deals with the complex emotional backstories of these characters that I do hope we end up seeing more of, because I've grown a lot more fond of them because of this film. You know, it's nothing extremely profound. It doesn't overstep and try to be anything it's not. It's still a superhero movie at the end of the day, but a different kind of superhero movie. If you were thinking it's just going to be, you know, Marvel's Suicide Squad, it's not. It's much more toned down, and there's a lot more sort of emotional nuance to it compared to other sort of, you know, anti-hero team-ups or just hero team-ups, I guess. It's very good. I like it. It's not all guns and glory, but there is plenty of that. You are still going to get your fill of action, like the scene where Bucky flies in on the motorcycle and nicks that guy's shotgun, looking like the fucking Terminator. It's badass. It's got that wholesome Marvel humor these movies are both famous and infamous for. This falls on the good side of the comedy for me, personally. It's not to say, you know, it's the best Marvel project in years, and I'm not going to allow the movie saying, the MCU is back, as if it ever went anywhere. You know, the MCU was spotted before Phase 4 anyway. I'd say we've got a steady stream of, you know, kind of good, bad, blah, 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 since Endgame. Nevertheless, you know what? This is one of the good ones. I wholeheartedly recommend it. Good action. The characters all have good chemistry with one another, and therefore sort of balance off each other, ad-libbing and stuff like that. The humor strikes a good balance, a very good balance. There's that one scene in the trailer, the bulletproof-ish part. It's kind of corny. It's way better in the movie. The delivery is much more subtle. That's just like a lot of this movie's humor. It's very low-key, tongue-in-cheek. Go see the movie if you haven't. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.